Hello friends, and welcome back to another edition of the Liberty Daily Vlog series. I'm Patrick McFarland, the host of the Liberty Weekly podcast, and if you're not familiar with my work, go on over to libertyweekly.net. I'm also on YouTube, BitChute, all those platforms, just search Liberty Weekly, as well as on the libertarianinstitute.org. And today I got up, I was looking at Twitter, and I stumbled onto something from the Jack Dorsey hearings. He's currently being analyzed by one of the Senate or House committees. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't been following it up to this point. But there is a tasty little nugget here that I'll show you on Twitter of this hearing where Representative Mullen is, I don't know if he's cross-examining Jack Dorsey or if he's questioning him in front of this committee. And I just wanted to go through the implications of those people on the right who would say, well, those people on both the left and the right who would say that we need the government to step in and to admonish these corporations because they're not friendly to free speech. And let's just take a look here. So we're going to play this video, and then I'm going to comment on it. But these are the implications of having the government enforce some kind of internet bill of rights, so to speak. So let's go.
August 2018, conservative activist Candace Owens' account was suspended after essentially imitating an account from a New York Times editorial board member, Susan, I think I'm pronouncing this right, Jong. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
Let me read what Ms. Jong wrote. Hashtag cancel white people. White people marking up the internet with their opinions like dogs pissing on fire hydrants. Are white people genetically predisposed to burn faster in the sun, thus logically being only fit to live underground like graveling goblins? Oh man, it's kind of sick how much I enjoy, or how much joy I get out of being cruel to old white man. I open my mouth to politely greet a Republican, but nothing but an unending cascade of vomiting flows from my mouth. Now that same tweet went out by Candace Owens, but replaced Jewish for white. Ms. Owens' account was suspended and flagged. The New York Times reporter account wasn't. What's the difference?
Okay, so before we continue, I'm just going to go through and ask the question of what is more disturbing to you? What is more disturbing, the discrepancy in Twitter, banning Candace Owens but not banning this New York Times reporter, Sarah Zhang? That is disturbing in of itself, but what I find the most disturbing is what you're about to hear, which is the government itself coming into the room and playing the fucking adult in this situation and wagging its fucking finger at Jack Dorsey, whom I don't support, by the way, because I'm pro-free speech, but at the same time, this is a little more concerning to me. And now this link won't click. Here it is.
So we did make a mistake with Owens.
But I've heard you say that multiple times, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. I've heard you say that the whole time you've been up here, and you've been very polite and pretty awesome at doing it. But the fact is, it's bigger than a mistake. It's the environment to which I think Twitter has. My point of the first question was, does that fit your political views to which your company is following? Because there seems to be a pattern here.
No, it doesn't. I value variety and perspective, and I value seeing people from all walks of life and all points of views. And we do make errors along the way, both in terms of our algorithms and also the people who are following guidelines to review content.
That Element's time is.
Okay, well, there's no good situation on either side here. I mean, the government is stepping in and chastising private companies for having their views, and at the same time, Twitter sucks because they have an ideological bias, and they're both waving it off. But let's never forget the fact that Jack Dorsey is that snake who's saying, he's in the grass and he's like, please tread on me, please daddy tread, because Twitter and Facebook want nothing more than the government to step in and regulate their corporations, because that's how antitrust work. That's how monopolies form. And the reason why is because they don't want alternatives to come up. Like, this is an alternative Twitter that exists right now. And shout out to DT Luna, my friend, who is hosting this instance of voluntarism.club. If you go there, there's a whole bunch of voluntarists that have a Twitter, and you can make your own Twitter. These things are easy. These alternatives exist currently. And I think Jeff Dice was on the Tom Woods show currently to say that right now we're in this in-between space where the internet has formed. Now we have monopolies forming, but we're still in that in-between space. The government has helped these monopolies along, helped them get to where they are, but are we going to now turn and give the government more power? Obviously, what the free market has provided currently is not what we're looking for. We're looking for something better. But the problem is that libertarians always look for the free market to provide the answer. And that's true. You do need the free market, and the free market will provide an answer. But that just takes time. And we have to think that the free market, having a free market, is only one element that we need to have a good alternative. It's not the end-all be-all. You need a free market plus a bunch of other things. And so while we're here, just kind of sitting on our thumbs watching these social media giants happen and watching the Senate committees kind of talk about what they're going to do with the internet and probably make it more monopolistic, we need to realize that there are alternatives, and people have been saying this for a long time, but it's still true. Alternatives do exist. We have, voluntarism.club. This is just one thing. Well, we do have alternatives like MeWe instead of Facebook, or Minds. Here's the MeWe page that I've been using, and it works pretty good, man. It's just, I actually, in some ways, I like it a lot better than Facebook. And lots have been said about Minds.com. So we're not resigned to this wasteland of social media monopolies. I continue to use Facebook and Twitter because their censorship has not affected me yet, and as well as that's where all the people are currently. But I also have presence on these other platforms like voluntarism.club and MeWe and Minds, all these different places. So this is just your Liberty Daily vlog for today, trying to keep it short here, but check out my other work at libertyweekly.net. I really hope that you've enjoyed just this little thought here, but just really think about it. And it really just disgusted me how you have, the big daddy government coming and chastising a private company about something that's really none of the government's fucking business. Seriously. So take that for what you will. I know that it's not a very satisfying answer to say, well, we just need the market to do its job, and we need to support these alternatives with our dollar. But I think that's all it is. That's all you can get if you want a real good alternative. Oppose the government intervention and oppose these monopolistic corporations that just beg for the government's intervention. And, put your frickin' action where your mouth is and start populating these alternatives and using them. So that's all for today. Thanks, guys.